guys, good morning. It's Sarah, and I'm coming in for week 14 and 15 check-in. I actually made a video for last week, and then I never posted it. I actually made several videos last week, and I never posted them. We're on to this week, and I thought, well, that's okay. I'll just do them together after I weigh in on Saturday, and there was no weigh in on Saturday because my scale was being raggedy. But I've tried to weigh in again this morning, and it's still messed up. So, who really knows what my weight is? Last week when I weighed on the scale, it said I was 2 pounds heavier. So I went from 256 the week before to 258 last week. You guys know I got down to 250, right? But now I'm like wondering if the scale has ever been right. But was it last week too? It would start flashing battery and error. So I thought, well, maybe it got jostled. So I would open the battery thing, roll the batteries around, make sure they were stuck in there good, close it up, flip it over, and weigh. And that's been happening for the last couple weeks. No. That happened last week. That's what happened last Saturday. Right? No, maybe it's this Saturday. I don't know. Anyways, it's been flashing that a couple different times when I've weighed. Sorry, my boobs are hanging out. I'm still in my pajamas. Are you going poo-poo? I think she pooped last video too, didn't she? So, but Saturday morning when I went to weigh in, it did that too. And I never got a good number on the scale. I mean, not a good number. I never got a clear number on the scale. But I didn't have batteries to change the thing. So today, this morning, on Monday, October the 6th, I put new batteries in my scale and set to weigh. And it's saying flashing the same thing. So I have no weight. So who knows? Who even knows if I had a real gain? Who even knows if I got down to for real 250? I don't know. I do know one of the things I talked about last week was that on Thursday evening I'd had a non-keto evening. I allowed myself to have hash brown casserole at the student center. But other than that, I've been completely on track. I've not, eaten anything that I shouldn't have, and I've been back at it completely. I have been going for walks with my kids a couple different times. So, yeah, on that front, things are fine. But the scale's just not moving. Or if it is, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? So, now I need a new scale, which I don't have, which I don't really have the funds for. I need to go to Walmart today, buy a few things. I think I'm going to look at scales to see how much they are. It is very unlikely I will purchase one today. I have an anniversary and a birthday coming up. Anniversary is October 18th. My birthday is November 27th. So I might can convince somebody to buy me one. But then part of me is like, oh, I hate to spend the money on the scale. The funny thing is I used to have 2 scales, and I sold one at a yard sale, and now I'm like, why did I sell that at the yard sale? But that's okay. So that's where we are. Not really much of an update. Things have been going fine. I feel fine. The next morning after I had eaten and had the non-keto night last Friday, I was so tired. I was really, really tired. The last 2 weeks actually have been super busy. My best friend's been gone out of town, so when she's gone, I am mama to her household too, and her 2 kids are in school. But I take them and I pick them up and I make sure all the suppers, I feed both families, and I do all the homework and get them off to wherever they got to go, and it's a whole thing. Pretty much from September to, or really August, but for sure September to December, I feel like and really January, but it slows down a little in January. I feel like we are go. There's something every week. There's something every weekend. Constantly something going on. We have a lot of birthdays in the fall. We have a lot of holidays in the fall. We have a lot of fall festivals and carnivals and pumpkin patches and all the things, trick or treat, trunk or treats, holiday parties, my husband, all the things, family gatherings. I feel like we're just party, 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 go, go, go the holiday. So I have been really, I had a little anxiety about all that and staying keto. I don't want to get off track. This past weekend, I went to the retreat for the college kids for the student center. They had their fall retreat, and it was only like 30 minutes from our house. So we went, Edie and I went all day Saturday. My parents watched Oz, and so I missed one of the festivals that we normally go to, but they took him. And then my whole family went back on Sunday and worshiped with them Sunday morning. And so that was really nice. And I stayed strong. I didn't cheat. I didn't do anything. And they had all kinds of, because I had asked members of the church to bring.
Mommy, can I have two?
Yes, I'll get you some in just a second. They had asked people at church to bring treats and stuff for the kids. And there was bajillion containers of brownies. I mean, you name it, that was there. All kinds of treats and snacks. Didn't eat anything. So, I have the ability to make good choices. I ate 4 grapes while I was there. They were the big, nice, hugacious, juicy grapes, too. It's just doing it. And I don't want to get off track. So I'm really hoping, I'm already been thinking, I've been thinking about offering to do Thanksgiving at my house this year, which my mom typically does. Thanksgiving at her house, but if I do it, then I have control of what I make and how I make it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. So, that's where we are on that front. I feel really good about the choices and the things I'm doing. I just can't weigh in. And you guys know, and it's so funny, I just listened to a podcast the other day talking about not losing weight on keto. And it was really talking about a lot of different things, but mostly hormones and stress, which I feel like play into mine severely. Edie's not sleeping. We've been doing this thing, and this is legit, no lie. From about 9 o'clock to midnight, 12:31, where I will nurse her or rock her, or Ed will rock her, and we will lay her down. She'll be completely asleep, and she'll be back either up as soon as you lay her down, or up within 5 minutes. Over and over and over again. There were 2 nights over the weekend that I was just wiped out and exhausted, and I made the decision to just put her in my bed. And the funny thing is, she just wants in the bed. She didn't even care that I wasn't beside her. So, she cannot stay in our bed. Last night, I tried to let her cry it out. I made it to 50 minutes, and I couldn't handle it anymore. And when I went in there, the kid was sitting straight up, wide-eyed, sucking on that thumb. She quit crying. I thought she was asleep. She wasn't. She was just sitting there, looking around. So I don't know what that's about. I'm hoping teething. Oz would have preferred to be in our bed, but we never went through anything like that with him. Ed just keeps saying it's a good thing she's cute. Of course, he was asleep with Oz last night. He fell asleep with him, putting him to sleep. So I don't know. So I know that's some of it. And I'm not trying to get too stressed out. I'm just trying to make good choices. And a couple other things I wanted to talk about just as far as keto and stuff goes. I've recently engaged in a couple conversations with people and just talking about keto. And, there are a lot of keto police. There's a lot of people who will say, well, keto's not good long-term. They just read that the long-term effects of keto weren't positive. And I know everybody has their own opinion about what's best and what's not good. Even my own mom was like, oh, I think a little sugar's good. But here's regardless of how you feel about keto or not feel about keto, here's some things that I know for sure. Well, let me say this. Number one, I cannot do super high fat, which keto is high fat. That tends to aggravate my reflux worse. So I stay away from coconut oil. But I do use real butter. That doesn't seem to bother me. Real butter doesn't bother me. I have pretty well eliminated fat bombs out of my diet. I did have one over the weekend, and that's the first one I've had in probably 8 weeks, because I was linking that to some of my reflux issues. Not all of them, but some of them. And obviously I have reflux anyways. I just don't need any help. And I have a hiatal hernia, all the things. But here's some things that I know about keto, and I can't vouch for keto long term. I have read a bunch of podcasts, I've read a bunch of articles, I've listened to a bunch of scientists. Here's some things I know for a fact, and no one will be able to convince me otherwise. Sugar, white cane sugar, is basically poison for our souls. And I know that I have made choices, and I have eaten it before too. I have not had that in a while, except for the occasional, like I was telling you, I had that last Thursday night, obviously had some hash brown casserole and some, I don't even think I said I had some like blueberry pie or something. Obviously I had some sugar, and obviously that's a battle that I fight with myself, but there's no good way to eat sugar, and keto is very anti-sugar. Dark leafy green vegetables are awesome for your body and for your health and I mean, it's just a good source of all the nutrients and all the things. You can't convince me that that's not healthy. I understand where people think that whole fat things like butter or cream, those things aren't healthy. Pretty much since I had weight loss surgery, I've always been a whole fat person. Whether that was whole fat Greek yogurt, we pretty much use butter. I just have a hard time believing that those artificial things, like the margarines and things like that, are better for you than a real product like butter. And I'm not trying to defend myself, and I'm not trying to start an argument, and everybody has their own beliefs, but I just think there are so many. I think keto gets a bad rap. And I think there are definitely ways that you can do it healthier and ways that you can do it easier, or ways you can do it cleaner. And I think that there are ways that, there's ways that you can probably abuse it. And here's the deal. I think if you are jumping and starting over and over and over again a ketogenic lifestyle, I think that's probably really awful for your body. But there's a lot of things I feel that are that way. Ow, was that heavy and got your toe? You okay? I think if you're constantly, eating the sharp carbs and sugar, and then you say, oh, I'm going to do keto for 2 days, and then get back on, I think that's probably really bad for your body. But I think you got to do you. And, again, in the end, and this is the conversation I've had every time, and particularly with this one gentleman who I engaged in a conversation with, and he just read this article saying that it was not good long term. I know that the start of keto was not, I know I've done the research, I know what it was for, I know it was not for weight loss, I know it was for, people that were sick, had epilepsy and seizures and all the things. But again, the main core of it, no sugar or the extra processed carbs, I just don't think you can convince me. No matter what, whether you call it keto, low carb, healthy lifestyle, Whole30, I know they're all have little differences. You can't convince me otherwise. I see the health benefits. So I know I'm not dropping the weight, and I know that I'm not, I feel like I'm still in survival mode. Even with keto, I eat some things that aren't necessarily clean. A lot of that has to do with where I'm at and the money and all the things. But I just can't believe that me not eating sugar and extra processed carbs is better for me. Is not good for my body. I didn't mean to get on a tangent, and I gotta go. It's almost 15 minutes. But I was just checking in. I'm not sure what I'll do about next week and weighing in. If I get a scale, I'll weigh in. If I don't, I won't. I don't know. I think I get paid Friday, so I may end up getting a scale this week. I need to see how much money I got. See y'all later. Bye.